What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. So who would you rather have, Freddie Freeman or Matt Olson? We're going to dive into that in just a second. But quick reminder for all the latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Who would you rather have, Freddie Freeman or Matt Olson? Would you rather the Dodgers sign Freddie Freeman, or would you rather them trade some big prospects to get Oakland A's star first baseman Matt Olson? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So look, I know you've heard of a love triangle, but how about a first baseman love triangle? Because that's what the Dodgers could find themselves in after the lockout. Now, before the lockout began, there were some rumors that if Freddie Freeman walked and didn't re-sign with the Braves, that the Braves would look to trade for Matt Olson, that they would pivot to a Matt Olson trade. He's from Georgia, and they would try to bring him home. Well, hey, let's just say the Braves do re-sign Freddie Freeman. Maybe the Dodgers, Matt Olson, that's going to be another option, because we know the Oakland A's, they're looking to cut costs. They're looking to rebuild, and maybe the Dodgers see Matt Olson as a backup plan. Now, it's going to cost some prospect capital. There's no question about that. He's under 2 more years of team control, but he could be a very attractive option because he rakes from the left side of the plate, so he checks off that box as far as replacing Corey Seager's production, and then also he's younger than Freddie Freeman. So it's not going to be this $200 million contract or $180 million contract. It's going to cost you prospect capital, but you won't have to blow that money long term. So the big question today is, who would you rather have, Freddie Freeman or Matt Olson? Well, you know I bring my facts to the fight, so let's dive into the numbers to see who's really the better player, starting first with Matt Olson. So Matt Olson had himself a hell of a 2021 season. The 27-year-old further established himself as one of the premier first basemen in the game, and this is how he ranked among big league first basemen last season. He had a .271 batting average, that was good for 9th, a .371 on-base percentage, good for 6th, a .540 slug, good for 3rd, 39 home runs, good for 2nd, 111 ribbies, that was tied for 2nd, a .379 WOBA, that was good for 6th, a .269 isolated power, that was good for 4th, a .146 WRC plus, that was good for 2nd, and a 5 FWAR, that was also good for 2nd. So just look at his numbers compared to the other elite first basemen in the game. Save for Vladdy Guerrero Jr., he's right at the top. The FWAR 5, the WRC plus 146, the home runs 39. So this guy really has established himself as not just a great defensive first baseman, but you saw the offensive numbers go up across the board. And why was that? Look no further than that strikeout rate. Last year, a career low 16.8% K percentage, and that was a massive, massive improvement from 2020. In 2020, he had a 31.4 K percentage, so to bring that down to 16.8, he almost chopped that in half. He has a career 23.4 K percentage. He really saw the results last season from a much more disciplined approach at the plate. He wasn't expanding the zone as much, and he was having more success against heaters. In 2020, he had 207 against fastballs. Last season, he had 283 against fastballs. Also raised that slug from 474 to 581 against heaters. Then also much more success against breaking stuff. Last season, he had 248 against breaking stuff with a 490 slug. In 2020, he had 143 against breaking balls with a 347 slug. Now, if you look at his 2021 MLB percentile rankings, he was in the 87th percentile in average exit velocity, the 90th percentile in expected WOBA, the 83rd percentile in barrel percentage, the 95th percentile in max exit velocity, the 87th percentile in hard hit percentage, the 85th percentile in X slug, the 92nd percentile in walk percentage. And I can't stress this enough when it comes to Matt Olson. Just look at that K percentage. He's now in the 76th percentile percentile. Last year, he was in the 9th percentile. It was one of the biggest drop-offs in the history of the game for qualified hitters when it comes to slicing your K percentage nearly in half. You see that chase rate there down at 76 percentile, the whiff rate 64 percentile, sprint speed, yeah, 28 percentile, not very impressive, outs above average, and the 63rd percentile. If you look at his Fangraph steamer projections for next season, they have him slashing 258, 361, 522 with a 371 WOBA, a 140 WRC plus, 4.6 FWAR, and you see that walk percentage down to 12.7. They think that strikeout percentage is going to go up to 20.6%. So still nothing like that 31.4% or the 25.2% that we saw in 2020 and 2019 respectively. But yes, you're probably going to get some regression, but still a really, really nice player. A player that if everything goes right and guys aren't having insane years around the league, that he will be in the MVP conversation for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons. So you see right there, Matt Olson is a dude. He is a straight baller. He's also younger. Now, he isn't as big of a star as Freddie Freeman when you talk about not being an MVP winner like Freeman. He hasn't been as consistently great throughout his career as Freddie Freeman has. But look, he is a ball player, and he'd be great on the Dodgers. But now that we've looked at Olson's numbers, let's take a deep dive into Freddie's. Look at his numbers since 2013. Since 2013, he's slashing 302, 394, 523 with a 388 WOBA and a 144 WRC plus and a 40.1 WAR, a 19.2 K percentage and a 12.2 walk percentage. Coming off that MVP season where he posted a 186 WRC plus, a 456 WOBA, and hit 13 home runs in 60 games, he did get off to a little bit of a slow start, but still finished the season slashing 300, 393, 503, had a 379 WOBA and a 135 WRC plus and 4.5 WAR. And then in the postseason, he was fantastic. He led the Braves with 5 home runs. He was third with 17 hits. He ends up slashing 304, 420, 625, and posted a 1,045 OPS. Taking a look at his StatCast percentile rankings, he's 85th percentile in average exit velocity, 90th percentile in max exit velocity, 77th percentile in hard hit percentage, 100th percentile in expected batting average, 97th percentile in expected slug, 86th in K percentage, 87th percentile in walk percentage. Look at his 98th percentile in expected weighted on base average. So yeah, it's a tough call because they're two really great players, and you look at that first baseman position, not a premium position, so would you really want to give them a lot of prospects, a lot of big-time prospects? For me, if I was going to do a deal with the A's, I would want to make it a massive blockbuster deal and try to get a Montas or a Bassett or one of those starting pitchers and just go crazy with it. And then you talk about Freddie Freeman. He's a guy that I do think, even though he's 32, I think his swing is going to age well, and I think he's ready to help the Dodgers win a championship. Now, we don't know how Matt Olson will play in a big market like Los Angeles, so he might be the safer bet as far as guaranteeing his success, but then Olson, he could be really hitting his prime at this point of his career. So for me, if I have the choice, I think I'm taking Freddie Freeman because I think you can guarantee his results for next season. You know he's going to be a 130 WRC plus player, and he's going to help this team next year. We don't know, like I said, how Olson's going to perform with the Dodgers in a big market, and I think when you combine Freeman with Mookie Betts and Walker Buehler and some of the current stars, this is the team that's ready to win now. And I think Olson could be great in Dodger blue, but I think that I'd rather save those prospects to maybe save for a more premium position, a guy with more positional versatility like a Jose Ramirez. Try that first and also cash in on potentially some starting pitching trades. But hey, like I said, if you're going to do the deal, get Olson and a starter. And hey, I would love to have him in Dodger blue. To me, it's like 1A and 1B as far as Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson. Let's not forget about Max Muncy, but the great thing about Max Muncy is he's shown that he can learn different positions and he can play some second base. You don't want him as your everyday second sacker, but look, he's a guy that you can move around. And look, there's a lot of uncertainty as far as his injury situation. But I want to know from you guys, who would you rather have sign Freddie Freeman or trade prospects for Matt Olson? I want your takes down below in the comment section. My name is D-Mac. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For the latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification notification bell. And if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.